The Silent Manga Audition, the biggest international manga competition judged by mangaka like the creator of The Fist of the North Star and the former chief editor of the Weekly Shonen Jump. Over 500 creators globally competing for cash prizes and, most importantly, the chance for a manga debut. The prompt? Moments of fear, joy, or love in a manga with no dialogue. An interesting challenge to tackle. So, let's begin. For a manga with no dialogue, there's one less dimension to communicate your story to the reader. So I need to be more expressive in the imagery through things like the poses, emotions, and lighting to get my point across. This is the ultimate show don't tell, perfect for visual storytelling. And to help me, I need to tinker with the panels and layouts. To experiment in a quick way, I draw the Nemu to do some thumbnailing to have a rough idea on how I'm going to express a scene. The drawings don't need to be perfect as long as it's understandable when you're doing the penciling. It was during this time that I also came up with the basic premise and plot of the story. For this one, I wanted to see how exaggerated I can make everyday things. My premise is going to be about a young salaryman reflecting on his youth on his 23rd birthday as he struggles through small challenges that are enlarged abnormally. 23 is an age when you're at the bottom of the totem pole again, where you trade the fun of youth for responsibilities as a young adult. So I tried to exaggerate small everyday chores that would be relatable into something truly bizarre. This thumbnailing step should be pretty short, but honestly, the planning stage was the longest part as I wanted to know exactly what I was doing so I could think of one last thing when penciling. It was during this time that life happened. A day passed and another, with little to no progress. I managed to finish the Nemu and started penciling, but progress would slow over time. Work would drag on in my day job and I'd come back home depleted of energy to move forward. Procrastination hit like a truck. And I was having a silent challenge in my head. The next thing you know, the deadline passed. I failed to complete it on time. But was it time to give up? No. I managed to create a Nemu I really liked and moved forward because I thought it was still a cool concept to try out. Even without the money or the publishing for a manga debut, I still wanted to move forward for the love of the craft. I'd move forward without the deadline and try to complete the manga on my terms in the best way possible, with no shortcuts. This was no longer for the judges. This was for me. And suddenly, one page, and another. I was at my day job and then coming back home to crank out those pages. Compared to my last one shot, I used to pencil digitally, but I felt more loose in my drawing when I drew on paper first. Despite being inefficient, I chose to draw on paper over Clip Studio and felt way more expressive. For the print guidelines, I used deleted paper. The only drawback was I couldn't easily undo a line with the click of a button like on the computer. After penciling, I initially wanted to try inking traditionally as well. I got some good results at first, especially with this double page spread, but I also wanted to preserve the penciling stage. So I ended up scanning the pages and inking and toning on Clip Studio, where I could control my line width and strokes. Overall, I think that mix of traditional penciling and digital inking helped add some life into my drawings, while also being clean and minimizing mistakes in the final page. In inking, I really tried to find a balance in depicting the lighting. I experimented with different ways to do light with inking and toning and communicating negative space, but it's always an iterative process. Toning digitally was just easier as well in placing tones or different frequencies and densities in different layers. Digital tones were also more cost effective than pasting paper tones. And after running through the process, I finished the page. I was staying up later into the night, then taking work calls early in the morning, but I felt like I was making good progress to finish. And after 2 weeks, I made the final dash and finished the final inking and toning for my second completed one-shot. It had been 1 full year to do a 17-page manga, and I'm glad I stuck through with it. But there was one last thing that happened. I checked the Silent Manga Audition one last time to see what I missed out on, and I couldn't believe there was a new competition with the prompt, moments of happiness, affection, or tears. The prompts were so open-ended based on emotions that it was actually possible to still apply my story to the Silent Manga Audition in the end. Just a different one. But in the meantime, I'm so excited to give you a preview of my silent manga. Shh. I think I've grown as an artist comparing my last one-shot and my current one. My one takeaway from this whole experience is that even if you procrastinate and lose motivation for a period of time, as long as you hold yourself accountable for doing something consistently, little by little, but at the best quality, you'll eventually get to where you want to go. I don't know what the future holds, but no matter the results of the contest, I'm really happy with how my one-shot turned out, but wish me luck. If you want to learn more about some of the concepts I discussed, like digital and traditional media, and how to ink digitally, feel free to check out my other videos linked here. But as always, I'll see you guys next time.